Back here in Atlantic City, we've just seen two experienced lightweights. Right now in the ring, we have a couple of youngsters scheduled for 4 rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it's in the lightweight division. Only one change in the officials, counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Arthur Mercanti. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 4-round lightweight bout, referee Joe O'Neill. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim, he is weighing in at 134 3/4 pounds. This young man has a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, all the way from Indianapolis, Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Gary Gamatak Gamble. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim, he is weighing in at 135 1/2 pounds. This gentleman is making his professional boxing debut from Riverdale, New Jersey. Boxing fans, here is Sal Cenicola.
We're fighting in the state of New Jersey. There's a mandatory 8 count in the state of New Jersey. If we get knocked down, I must count 8 before the fight continues. If I think you're in the neutral corner, stay there till I call you out. There's no 3 knockdown rule in the state of New Jersey. You understand the rules?
Yes, sir.
I'm in a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. You be responsible for your corner. Be responsible for yours. Shake hands. Good luck.
So we're set to go. Joe O'Neill, the referee. A 4-rounder for lightweights Gary Gamble and Sal Cenicola. Gary Gamble in the blue trunks, Cenicola in the white. Gamble 2-1 from Indianapolis, Sal Cenicola, the hairstylist from Riverdale, New Jersey, is making his professional debut. That's right, I said he's a hairstylist. But don't make any jokes about it. He'll knock your block off.
He could destroy a stereotype tonight.
No knockdown. A slip there by Gamble.
And Cenicola returning to the ring after an amateur career that included a 45-5 record and a 1976 Golden Gloves and 1977 AAU title. But he's had a long layoff, and let's see what he's got left for the Ring Wars.
Here in New Jersey, they'll score this by the round system. And after we see Howard Davis, certainly a valid contender for the championship, now we go to a couple of lightweights who are in the early stages of their career.
Cenicola with a good left hand there.
Both fighters the same height. Cenicola 135.5 today, while Gamble was 134 3/4. We're halfway through the opening round. Right hand by Cenicola on the head of Gamble. Gamble comes right back with a right hand. I want to remind you that coming up in our telecast, a very much talked about amateur heavyweight from Pomona, New York, Dorian Melamud, making his professional debut against Solomon Dollison later in the telecast.
Cenicola trying to press the attack on Gamble, but difficult for him to land punches. He's just a little bit short. That is a good sign that he has not been in the ring in actual competition for some time.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the opening round. Gary Gamble looking especially tentative here.
Cenicola looking to unload that right hand, has been short with it.
We'll be right back with round 2.
Old Spice man always gets a warm welcome wherever he lands. Because Old Spice is the clean, fresh, masculine scent so many women love. So even if you love only one woman, you'll love Old Spice, the man scent so many women love.
The Z100 diesel by Iveco. Small truck fuel economy, big truck payload. Iveco trucks, built for a working world. Iveco.
We're looking at round 2 of a scheduled 4-rounder between lightweights Gary Gamble in the blue and Sal Cenicola in the white. Al, how did you score that first round?
I gave the round to Cenicola, kind of reluctantly. He pressed the fight. He missed a lot of punches, but of the effective punches landed in that round, I thought he had the majority.
Right hand by Gamble on the head of Cenicola.
Another good right hand. So Gamble finds a home for that straight right hand.
Gamble from Indianapolis has won 2 of his 3 professional fights. Cenicola doesn't look perturbed, considering this is his first professional fight. You saw him score with a right hand, and back came Gamble with a left and a right, and Cenicola's right foot came off the canvas. Boom.
That left hook hurt him, and I'm shocked that Gamble is not trying to follow up on that advantage. Another good left hook by Gamble.
You get the feeling, Al, that Gamble perhaps was taking a look at Cenicola in the first round?
I think so, and he found he could land the straight right, and then he also found a home for that left hook. I think he needs to be more aggressive. Cenicola's an inexperienced fighter, obviously no pro experience. He's coming off a long layoff. I would try and put some pressure on him.
And now Cenicola looks a little puzzled after he took that rat-a-tat-tat from Gamble.
And I think he was hurt. And, you know, when you're in the gym, you're not often hurt like you are in the ring. And it's first time in some time he's been really had his bell rung. And there's a good right hand by Gamble.
As we pass the halfway mark of round number 2. Cenicola looks like he's been derailed a bit here in the second round. He's not getting off the way he was getting off in the first round. Right hand by Cenicola, though, and back comes Gamble with a stiff right hand. Less than a minute to go in the round.
Break, step back, don't hold.
Gamble landed a stiff left jab. That's a punch I'd like to see more of. I've seen him fight before in Chicago, and one of the criticisms I would have of him is that he doesn't use that jab enough. It's a stiff one, and he should use it more often.
Well, the action and the pace is picked up here in the second round of the scheduled 4-rounder.
And there is that jab from Gamble, and it landed.
Good right hand there by Gamble. Cenicola now appears to be too far outside of Gamble to do any destruction. Well, we're halfway through the scheduled 4-rounder. Want to do these hellos? Let's do it.
Yeah, you do
yours?
it.
Jim Cook?
I don't know, but you go ahead.
The left hand, drop your head. Take a breath. Let this out. Give him some water. How do you feel? Take a deep breath. Come on, you gotta go to the belly. Some hooks in the belly. Get your left hand up in here. And get over and punch in the belly and the hook short. You gotta show short, not long. Edge up. You understand? Huh? You're not relaxed. You're not getting off. You got to get off.
Let him come. Get the left jab off, then the right hand, and then step over. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then step over. The only chance he's got is to hit you with that loop and shit when you go straight back. You won them 2 rounds.
Okay, coming up round 3 of the scheduled 4-rounder. That's Gary Gamble in the blue and Sal Cenicola in the white. Al, I think the second round was disconcerting for Cenicola. He was tagged, and from that moment on, the rest of the round, he really didn't battle well.
And you hit it on the head late in that round when you said he did not have good punching room, and now a terrible cut on the forehead of Cenicola.
Could have been a butt, but the blood is pouring out of the forehead of Cenicola, and Joe O'Neill is really got to take a long look. He's going to stop the fight. A bad break for Sal Cenicola.
Well, they did not call the ring doctor in yet to look at that cut. And I'm shocked at that. And also, of course, there's the possibility and the likelihood that it occurred from an accidental clash of heads. Let's take a look at it.
Now, the boys in our ESPN truck say that they've got a good beat on this occurrence here. Let's take a look at the action. Cenicola in the white. And there's the bang of heads. No question about it. Cenicola with a bad break. And he has many fans here from his hometown in Riverdale, New Jersey. A lot of them pretty, too. At any rate, they are really arguing the way this fight ended. And a bad break for Sal Cenicola making his professional debut. He gets butted in the third round, and because of the cut, they've got to stop the fight.
There's little doubt that was an accidental clash of heads. I'm sure Gary Gamble did not try and butt him in that instance, but nevertheless, the blood was judged too much for Cenicola to continue. Though they might have stopped it and taken a look at the scorecards, but even if they had, it would have been probably an even fight. And it's a happy Mr. Gamble.
With a high mom. Not a pleasant ending, and certainly you don't want to see anybody lose a fight on
straight right hands behind him.
Well, no, and Gamble was coming on in the second round and starting to look effective, but it's arguable. It was certainly a close fight.
Now the cut is deep and wide, and you see an ambulance attendant in the ring, and they're holding a compress on the forehead of Cenicola, and they're going to have to mend that because it is a bad cut, and Joe O'Neill made the proper decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to a severe cut sustained by Principal Sal Cenicola, referee Joe O'Neill stops this bout at 30 seconds of the third round, and a winner by a TKO, Gary Gallatak Gamble.
Gary Gamble wins for the third time in 4 professional outings. Sal Cenicola with a bad break. And I'm sure when that cut mends, he will be back in the ring. He loses on a cut in his professional debut. We'll continue with more Top Rank Boxing after this timeout.